Kevin, this is my guy, Mike Williamson. A mentor, he's a great basketball player. He's a three-time All-American. He's the leading scorer and assist leader at USAO. A lot of more accomplishments. Played professional basketball. Mike, the first question I want to ask you is the hardest person or team you've ever played against.
Oh man, it's been some good players that I played against. The hardest team consistently might have been OBU.
Yeah.
Always usually had a pretty good influx of talent. OCU was pretty good too, but we always managed to get those wins. So um, as far as hardest person, actually one of my good friends is probably one of the guys that gave me one of the toughest nights. And he wasn't even like a star or a main guy. He was just, one of those glue guys. And his name was Rodney Ladd, and he played Oklahoma Christian. And Coach Hayes put that guy in my side pocket for the entire night, man. And that was the first and probably only time I actually felt a little frustration as far as playing free and getting open. But I learned from it too. And so, but I never really ran into anyone that can just stop me from doing what I wanted to
Right.
do the entire night. Yeah. So that's probably it.
So tell me a little bit about your high school experience and what led you to USAO.
Well, in high school, we had so much talent coming through John Marshall. I was just trying to just get on the court. We had a lot of Division One players coming out of the '96 class. I was part of the '99 class. Had a lot of kids in front of me, and I was just trying to, Coach Griffin was a disciplinarian. He a perfectionist. He wanted things the way he wanted, not what you thought you could do.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just adjusting to that, and adjusting to just all the competition, all the good players. And I found a way to get on the floor by focusing more on defense, and I became kind of a defensive stopper, and that's what got me on the court. And just whenever I could score, I would score. I mean, I didn't get to play as free as I would like to, like I was able to with my AU coach, but it still taught me a lot of discipline and made me learn different areas of the game and how to impact the game without always worrying about scoring. So it still helped towards my development.
Mm-hmm. And so after your senior year, what led you to go to USAO?
It was a freak thing, man. I didn't even know that they were looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was actually being recruited lightly by St. Gregory's College.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Coach Brandon Manzer was there at the time, and I was driving down and working out with his guys and his players. And then just we had an all city game, a little all-star all city game that I went and competed in and had a good time and just played the game, and never knew that Briscoe McPherson and Coach Metcalf was even in the gym. And then when after like about probably the last 2 minutes of the game, the Coach Metcalf came and tapped me on my shoulder, and he was like, "Man, we'd like to talk to you after this game." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Okay." And then, and that was it. So I went up in the stands and I talked to them, and they were showing me a lot of love and saying, "Man, we think we want to bring you in and give you a look, and we've seen some of the things that you can do in this game right here." And that was it, man. He came, picked me up the next week, showed me the campus, and shoot, I signed right then. And yeah, and the rest is history. And I didn't know until later on, after I got out of college, and me and Briscoe had become really good friends. And he actually told me that my high school coach, Tommy, had sent him to come watch me play. And he watched me play one time. And that was it.
That's
And he
crazy.
liked me. So it was perfect timing, I guess, because I wasn't even planning on going to college.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like what was the biggest like what was like the biggest things you had to work on in order to get to become a three-time All-American, to become, all conference? Like what was some of the things that you really had to work on?
Well, the main thing I had to work on was my attitude,
Yeah.
because I come from a pretty rough school, rough neighborhood, and we had to fight for everything that we got. So I took that demeanor to the court, a lot of times. And so, growing up in gang neighborhoods and stuff like that. So I had to fix that first.
Mm.
And then and once I got to college, I realized how much I didn't know, about the game of basketball. Because all I knew in high school was, hey, we picking up 94 feet, we're gonna shut down our men and we're gonna score off our defense.
Mm.
And that was really it, And so when I got to college, I learned to run plays, play smarter, curl cuts, back cuts, changing my speeds, being quick and not fast, know when to be slow, when to be, what I'm saying? Like I had seniors that were in front of me and and two coaches that just really said, man, you got to start, you're an athlete, but you got to start thinking the game of basketball. And so once I slowed down and actually put my mind into the craft and studying film and going to watch teams play and, and working out instead of just playing all day long, I know it really helped me develop.
Yeah. Man, I want to know. So talk about that jump shot you had, man. Because I see on Facebook, Instagram, everybody that talk about you got associate that jump shot with you. So like,
Yeah.
how like was it always something that you had, or was it that you really had to work at it?
Yeah, I felt like it was something that I always worked on. It didn't come naturally, but I always worked on it. But when I was at John Marshall, I think it was more of a like something that he didn't need because he had other shooters.
Right.
And so, and that's why I said I had to sit and say, man, well, how am I if I can't shoot as good as that guy, but I can shoot a little bit, but it ain't really what we think, is what our coaches believe. You see what I'm saying? And so I hadn't convinced them. And so I had to find another way to get on the court. And then my AAU coach, he would let me shoot it a little bit. And then when I got to USAO, I was telling coach, man, I could do this. I work on this. And the difference between him, he was like, well, if you show me, I'll give you a chance to show me. And once you show me, then we'll just go from there. And so once he kind of, unlocked my mind and let me just, play free and work on my game, I don't know. I always wanted to be a shooter because there was good shooters at John Marsh in front of me. And I was like, man, that's got to be sweet to where every time you shoot the ball, it looks like it's going in. I wanted that type of, swag and charisma, to where like, no matter what you do, I'm going to get you eventually with this jump shot. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just worked on it, man, day in, day out. Late nights when guys was hanging out and partying in school, I was in the gym, shooting, taking bad shots, taking good shots, a lot of repetition. Sometimes I had teammates in there, we all be in there shooting and rebounding. And most of the time I went there myself. I called Coach McPherson and have him come open the gym, and I take my little, this is back when we had boom boxes. Sit the CD in the top, put batteries in the back, or you plug it in and you played your little boom box and just got to shooting for hours, man. So yeah.
So what year were you when y'all won the national championship?
I was a junior.
So a junior.
2002. Yeah, I was a junior.
So can you talk to me about the national championship team and how hard is it? I know, because obviously I've never won one, but I've heard that when you get that first one, you won it, but it's so much harder to get it again. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, and talk about the national tournament team and talk about like just that feeling and how hard it was that year after.
What led to the national championship was the year before in 2001. And that was probably, I would say, because I played on both teams, that was our most complete team. That was probably the best team in school history. And we made it to the national championship, but we ended up losing in the final seconds of the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when you go through that pain and that grief and you get that far, you win that many games, and then you fall short to a team that you was better than, but it wasn't one of y'all best games, it's hard, and so
Right.
It makes you hungrier and more locked in the year after, because once you get a taste of it, you want to get back there.
Right.
And you put in more effort, more time, you still have to adjust to new teammates and, new schemes. And so it was a grind. We've even lost more games the year that we won it than the year before. You know what I'm saying? We only lost 3 games the year before. The year we won it, we lost 7. So, and it was even the point where I was like, man, this ain't the team. We ain't gonna do
Right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we just kind of stuck together, we got hot at the right time and we believed in each other. And I'm gonna tell you what catapulted us to, I think, that helped us at conference. It was a conference tournament first, and then it was national. So we were walking around in practice like the week before the conference tournament, maybe a couple of days. And Coach Patricia completely got mad at us. He was just like, all right, I'm done with y'all. Y'all walk around, shut the practice down. He said, y'all just gonna go to the conference tournament. Y'all gonna lose a game, and then he said, y'all gonna lose 2 games, it's gonna be over. Because we already ranked in the nation, so we already kind of had a at-large bid to go to the national tournament. He said, y'all gonna lose the conference tournament game, be out. Y'all gonna go to nationals, y'all gonna be out 2 games, and it's over. He said, it's all over. Y'all don't want this, it's over. Shut practice down, get out the gym, yada, yada. So we all went to the locker room, and we all sitting in there looking at each other like, Briscoe, Coach ain't never did that.
Right.
He's never done that. If anything, he would just make us run instead of shutting. But that's how frustrated he was. And so we all started talking, and Dexter started talking, and we all started talking like, man, let's go back out here and practice anyway. Let's just scream. We just practice without him. And that's what we did. We went back in the gym. We all put our shoes back on, went back in the gym. We scrimmaged for probably about another hour, and worked out some stuff. And it kind of like rebelling against what Coach just put on us. It kind of made us band together, And then we got hot. We went to the conference tournament, lost in the championship, but we went to nationals. We just got hot, man. And, we was hitting on all cylinders. We just couldn't nobody stop us. The closest game we had was the first game was pretty close because the first game is always the hardest one to get. And then that Final Four game was one of the biggest games probably ever besides winning it, because you got to win that game first. So, but man, we just banded together as brothers. We stopped bickering. We stopped, any jealousy that was there was gone because he made us realize, guys, y'all gonna throw away something special. Like it's gonna be 2 games and you're gonna be done.
Mm-hmm.
And when he brought that to our mind, we was like, man, we got to change something. It starts now. And that's what we did. So we got to the tournament and we was just kind of locked in. We was in the zone. The guys who had been there the year before, we remember the pain that we went through, in 2001. And I said, man, I don't want to feel that again. Like, here now, we might as well win it.
Right.
So we dominated that championship game.
So what motivated you to turn pro, to go overseas? Like, was it like a thought, like where you was like, I don't want to, like, or like, was it like 50-50, like, scared to leave? Like, what was like your mindset going into that process?
Nah, I was ready. I was ready. And I said, I didn't work this hard to get, where I am now to just shut it down after college. So I was like, if I get any chance to go play, I'm gonna go. And so, when I finally got the opportunity, I went. And it was kind of a fluke thing because during the summers I would work the Oklahoma Christian Cage Camp, and I would meet so many kids. And in 1 week they would have foreign exchange students come in, and like kids from England and all that. And you build relationship with these kids, and I kept in contact with them with email because we didn't have Facebook, Instant Messenger, and that stuff back then. And just so happened once my senior year was over, I didn't have nothing. I didn't have anything, and I thought I had an agent for a while. I got in New York. It kind of didn't work out with him, so I was like, man, I'm gonna do it on my own. And I reached out to one of these kids, and their dad was American. He'd been living in England for 15 years. He used to play pro ball there. I sent him my resume. He talked to a team, and
man, that's crazy.
Just made it happen. So, and that's why I try to tell a lot of people, man, in this world, it ain't really always about your talent, your skill set, or how smart you are. No, it's most of the time it's just about who you know to get the opportunities that you get. And I'm sorry I didn't answer your question about my senior year about repeating. And it is hard to repeat because it's a target on your back now. Because when you come back to the national championship, they say there's the defending champs right there.
Yeah,
don't want to give it to them. Like the team who beat us the year prior, they was out in the first round.
Wow.
Yeah, and they was walking around with their rings on and they chest stuck out. I was just like, oh, I hope we meet y'all again. But they was out the first round.
That's crazy.
First round they got. So our senior year, then we scaved past Pikeville, Kentucky, and then we ran into, I think it was McKendree, Illinois, and man, they just worked us, man. They just
Mm.
worked us, yeah. So we thought we was gonna just slide past them, and we didn't. And it's tough. It's definitely hard to repeat because the whole year, when you're ranked number one in the nation, and you're the defending national champions, everybody you play against is gonna give you what they got. So and that's why it's so hard to repeat.
Mm.
And then it'll be a little easier at the NBA because they can kind of keep the same players. But in college, if guys are
Right,
seniors,
people leave. Yeah.
they leave, and you got other guys that got to step up in roles that they never, really been in, and positions and responsibilities, and it just, sometimes it don't work.
Mm-hmm.
It don't work. But going overseas, man, I was locked in, I was ready, and when I got the opportunity, I was gone. I didn't have any kids, of course, and wasn't ready to get a 9-to-5 job, and I was like, man, let's keep going. So.
You went to England first, right?
Went to England, yeah. I went to England, yeah, and I had a great year. I had to play a different position. I had to go out there and play the one instead of being the two. I was, man, and
Was that
started
tough
out
for
pretty
you?
good. No, I adjusted because, it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't a really tough league. You still had talented players in it, but most of the better players were usually the Americans. So when I would go against another really good player, it'd be the American on the other team. Now there were some good English kids, and a couple of kids from Ireland that can play a little bit, and so. But I just kind of got in the groove then, and I was working it out there.
Yeah.
Working. So by the break, I was averaging like 38 a game. Dang, I was killing those guys, and of course I had the green light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I shot at that point. Just at some point you kind of get to a place of confidence to where can't nobody take it from you. And when you play at that level, no matter what people throw at you, you're still gonna find ways to impact the game. So that's what I did.
Did you idolize anybody growing up or even in college? Like, in the pros, like who did you kind of model your game after?
But no, I mean, not anybody in the pros, because I never thought I was an NBA player or nothing like that. So of course, I love Michael Jordan, but it was really the guys I went to high school with. Like I went to school with a guy named Joe Atkins. He was one of the top players in the state. He went to OSU. Tony Hurd went to Tulsa University. Reggie Tate went to Oral Roberts. So that team went.
Dang, you had some great guys.
Yeah, they went 28-0. So and won the state championship. So it was like, why look anywhere else when you got
you got them right there.
Three of the top players in the state right there on your team. So those are the guys that started with, and then by that I kind of just took a little bit from their games and like kind of made my own game. But I never really idolized a pro that I could mimic. You see what I'm saying? It's like I couldn't mimic Jordan. Like he was amazing. And my second favorite player was Scottie Pippen. I took a lot from his game because he was a jack of all trades. He could, D you up, score, rebound, all that. And then the third person after that was Shaquille. I sure can't mimic him. So when it came to dunking, I was a power dunker. I couldn't style dunk, freestyle dunk, windmill. I was just wanted to just go and try to break your arm when I dunk. But I really just kind of made my own game.
I feel you. So I know, fast forward and, in the coaching. So how's coaching impacted your life, and also seeing your son and the kids you've been coaching for years get, being in high school and stuff, junior high school? How's that been?
Oh, it's been amazing just watching these kids grow up. I'm glad that I'm able to coach my son and kind of give him a lot of my game, but still leave him some room to develop his own game. And most of the first AAU team I ever coached was girls, and they were sixth grade girls, and now they're freshmen, juniors, sophomores in college. So you watch them grow up as young ladies. You see that the high school boys I just got done with, they'll be in college next year. I've been a basketball referee for 13 years now. So a lot of kids that I ref that I see playing on TV in Division I, like I used to ref that kid. That's crazy. I ref Trae Young before when he was young. You know what I'm saying? So just seeing all those things going, like Blake Griffin, his dad was my high school coach.
Right. Yeah, I figured when you said Coach Griffin, I figured,
yeah, they used to be walking around the gym at our practices and stuff, and now now he's a superstar. So
that's wild.
yeah, so it's amazing, man. I mean, just it feels great just watching those kids develop. It actually helped my personality, it helped me open up, not be as shy. I wasn't very trusting. I was a little bit aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So going to USAO and being around people who have your best interests at hand, and you can kind of trust some people. So it changed my personality a lot. It made me be able to be like, usually back in the day, I couldn't sit here and do this interview with you.
Right.
I didn't like to talk about myself. I didn't like to always look people in the face and talk too much. And so yeah, it's helped me develop a lot as a person, and you get a lot of pleasure out just seeing your kids be successful. And they don't have to be successful in sports. I want to see these kids own companies and become millionaires other ways if they want to. So it's fun. It's been fun, man. I love it.
Yeah, I be seeing him working out and everything, and it motivates me. I'm like, because if I'm struggling on a workout or whatever, I'm like, if I see him doing it, he's 11, 12 years old. I'm like, well, I can do it.
There you go. We up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, getting it in. Yes, sir. So, and that's what we're just trying to get to the next level. Like I said, I don't want him to, even though he moves like me, he shoots like me, his game is kind of mimicked after mine, but he's more skilled than I was. I wasn't even playing in 6th or 7th grade.
Right.
Like I was still just running around in the park with no shoes on.
Yeah.
climbing trees and stuff, So the fact that he's playing and I'm able still to coach him, we haven't got to a point where I'm like, okay, he's not listening anymore. Let me put him with somebody else. So that's a blessing in disguise, because I've seen a lot of dads over the years and moms with the frustration, like, my kid don't think I know what I'm talking about, so they won't listen to me. Well, yeah, that's tough, man. So, but I love it though, man. And you still get burnt out sometimes because you got to deal with parents, or you got to deal with a bratty kid every once in a while, or maybe your team go on a losing streak for a while. You just like, oh man, am I messing these kids up? Or I'm like, but it's overall, it's fun, man. That's why I keep training kids too, so I can still get that fix of helping kids. I don't want to just coach every kid. I want to be able to just train them and put some, put some work ethic in them.
I feel you. That's important, man. Whatever level you want, D1, D2, D3, and I, like you really, really need that, because if you ain't got that, man, you'll never play ever.
Yeah, and I tell kids a lot of times, I'm like, man, I didn't have a person like me in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a mentor of that stature that would like get me up to, and train me and coach me through the game. And that's why I learned so much when I got to college, and all the stuff that I learned there, I'm trying to teach my son now. So when he gets to college, it'll be, it'd be so easy for him, and he gets frustrated like that because, kids at this age, they just want to play.
Right.
Not a lot of them want to learn. And so, but if you could get them to trust you enough and get them to slow down and realize how important learning the game is cerebrally, then they get to, put it on the court and see some success from it. That's the greatest right there. When you work on something and then they finally do it in the game and they look at you like, oh, I did it. That's the best feeling in the world. So, oh yeah, he loves it though, man. I'm glad he loves it, because I don't never have to make him do anything.
Like force him to do, like, let's get a workout in.
Everyone. I even try to see if he'll take a day off. Like, man, do you think we should cancel practice today and just relax? Y'all had a tough weekend. Like, no, I want to practice. All right. So he put pressure back on me.
Right. Like, hey, man, I was hoping you said no.
Yeah, I was hoping no, so I could chill out. He never lets me off the hook, so we always working.
Yeah, that's good. The bonus questions. I have 4 bonus questions.
Okay.
So the first one is 3 dinner guests, dead or alive.
3 dinner guests, dead or alive. I would go with, like, famous or
anybody.
I would love to have dinner with Shaquille O'Neal, because he's wild. I would love to have my brother back and have dinner with him again. And man, just, the woman who created me and put everything in me, my mom's. So, yeah.
That's a cool little little guess right there.
Yeah.
So out of the current NBA players, nobody, just LeBron in year 18, Chris Paul, out of the current NBA players, who is your starting five right now?
Current NBA that's in the league. Okay, of course it'll be Kevin Durant because he's a overall just highly skilled player. I love Steph Curry. I mean, you got to put LeBron in there because he's still going. He's still pretty tough. We going by positions or just five?
Yeah, just
five in general. Who else that really impresses me? And it's usually just those top three. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I like to have a Draymond on my team too, because he's just
dirty work.
Yeah, man. He just does everything. He annoys me when I watch him on TV. But when you get that part out the way and you watch his game, like you would love to have a guy like that on your team. And I'm trying to think of it. That's four, right? So
yeah, that's four.
Brian, Durant, you get Draymond.
You got a Warriors team.
There you go. Yeah, I know I did. But see, I used to love watching that team play when they played.
Yeah,
even though
they were fun.
Lose, I still like watching them. So it's one more guy, and I can't. Man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. No. Let me see. I'm trying to think of some older guys. Give me a big, Kevin. I'm trying to think of a big.
I was thinking, you got like Cat, Jokic.
I thought about Jokic, but I'm like,
yeah.
I want somebody that I really. I'm trying to think of somebody that I just really enjoy playing, like like their skill set. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really like, man, you gotta respect it. So
Joel Embiid.
That's cool. That's fine. Since he's changed
He cold.
He got skill. I just all the extra stuff I didn't like, but he's humbled himself a lot over that. He didn't have so. I'll pick Joel. I'll go with Joel.
Yeah, dude is tough. All right. Top 5 favorite artists. Musical.
Oh well, I'm an R&B guy. So when you talking about rap, you want R&B?
Any genre.
Okay, so genre. One of my favorite R&B guys used to be Robbie Knight. He was one. How many you want?
5. So
Top 5. Okay. Robbie Knight, Donnell Jones, Boyz II Men. One of my favorite now is Tank, and man, I really like Bruno Mars too. I wish he would make more music. So, but I like what he brings because he does a lot of the old school style.
Yeah. So did you listen to R&B before the games? Like before, like.
Oh yeah. I'll be sitting there bobbing my head, and I know people probably be thinking I'll be listening to rap, and I'll be listening to R&B. Yeah. I'll be listening to R&B because I would listen to rap prior, but it would get me kind of too amped up.
Yeah.
So I would listen to that maybe in the room while I'm getting ready, and then when I got to the gym, I need to calm down, watch the girls play, get ready to play, and I would be listening to R&B. Yeah, just kind of get in my locked in my zone. So I'm an R&B guy at the heart, man.
Yeah, I feel you. So the last one is so this question you have to try to help get them on the show, but who would you want to see on this channel at some point? You got to get the plug. Like you got to help.
So plug them and then help them get on there. So I don't know because I haven't really had the chance to watch a podcast. I don't know what kind of
athletes, entertainers. I mean, really anybody that's successful. It's really anybody who you would want to see personally on there.
Man, you know what? I would actually like to see you interview my coach, Briscoe McPherson.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
And he's gonna be a hard guy to do, but to be able to pick his brain to go from 1 year having a 4-25 team to a couple years later having a 29-3 team and then the national championship after that, I think it's got to be amazing stories
Yeah.
in between that. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely try to get him. Yeah, that would be really cool if I can get him.
He'll give you more of an old school flavor. You know, he's been at the same job for 40 years, you know, in the same town. He's from the east side of Oklahoma North. He went to Northeast High School and stuff. So I'll let you tell him that. But I think we should get him on.
Yeah, let's try to get him. Him.
Okay.
I'll
look for you.
Yeah, hell yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Nah, man, but I want to thank you for doing this. This was awesome. You know, I'm a huge basketball junkie anyway, so anything basketball related, I soak it all in, man. I do. So I want to appreciate you.
Yeah, no. Hey, thanks for asking me, man. You know, because you could have asked anybody, and you asked me, so I definitely appreciate you, and I want to, you know, wish you luck on your career because you got what, 2 years left?
3. I got 4 years. This will, I'm still a redshirt freshman.
Oh, really? So you
Yeah,
didn't
with the COVID
year?
yeah, we all got a free year with COVID and everything. Yeah, so it's crazy.
Stay at Mid-America the whole time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and get my degree.
Man, I'm gonna definitely try to come to some games, but I don't want to come and see you play though. So
yeah, for sure.
You have to hit me and say, hey, tonight is the night. Then it's just down the street. I'll come on down there and check you out, man. So
sure, I got you. I appreciate you. I really do.
No problem, Kevin. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one.